right. Welcome in everybody. Elle, thank you very much for the raid. I really do appreciate it. Those sneaky raids, like right before I start, are always fun. Stream canceled. Fair, Dr. Noise. Yeah, I am pretty. I don't even have my Fitbit on. So, actually, where is it? There it is. Yes, that's why I was late. But yes, welcome in everybody. If you're coming in with Elle's raid and you're new to me, my name is Soul Commodore. I'm an artist, kind of, and part-time video game player. Today we're doing art though. We're going to continue working on this piece. We're almost done it. Well, we're almost done this part of it. We're going to finish off these shingles today, which are finally looking the way that I want them to. And yeah, and then we're going to move on to this here, which I'm very, very, very excited about. What's going in here, because it's going to be something a little bit different than than you might be expecting. So, those are you, Clouds, right? You are absolutely an artist. Don't let him mess with you. He's working on a gallery show. Well, thank you. I just actually got to get in a gallery first. But yes, I do appreciate that, right? It's going to take me a very long time to like really consider myself an artist, but that's a me problem. So, I'll just grab my chair and we're going to move y'all in a little closer. So you can get a little bit of a better view of what we're working on. Like I said, we are working on this right here. So let me get all set up. But how's everybody doing today? Elle, how was the rest of your stream? Let me start by asking that. How was the rest of your stream? Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Noise. I appreciate that. Sorry to raid and run, but I'll catch the VOD. I need some non-computer time. That is more than fair. Thank you so much for sending your community our way. I really do appreciate it. It went great. No robots. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. But yes, please, yes, take care of yourself. Rest up. Save your eyes from the screen for a little bit, because I know we could all use some more of that. Everyone wants to come here all the time. I ask every time and they always pick you. Well, I'm honored. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate that. Now I got to make it worth your while. So, I'm just getting our paints set up here, which is really something that I should probably do before the stream starts, but you know, whatever. Old habits die hard and all that. Yes, have a good night. Have a good night. Alright. Grab some of this yellow. Yes, rest indeed. Be good or consequences. There we are. We're not going to use a whole lot of red on the palette because we haven't used a whole lot of red in this piece, to be honest. Oh, you know what? We also have to finish this tree over here. We might start with this, actually. Instead of doing the roof, we'll start with the tree. With this bush over on this side. We're going to start with that. But yes, it's a new day. It's almost it's almost April. This isn't the question of the day, but let me ask: how do y'all feel about April's Fool's pranks? And I don't mean like mean-spirited pranks, but like fun pranks. Like how do y'all feel about pranks? I'm always interested to hear people's opinions on those. You're gonna get a nice brown color, nice dark brown color to start putting in this bush or tree or hedge, whatever you want to call it. Because I know pranks can be pretty divisive. And I like to hear how people come down on divisive topics. I don't care about pranks at all. April Fools bore me. Hey, Toxic, welcome in, welcome in. They're fine as long as they don't go too far. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But April Fools bores you, huh? That is also fair. I'll never forget, there was an April Fool's where I forgot it was April Fool's. This was back when I was, I don't think I was in high school yet. I think I was in grade 7 or 8. And my parents came to me and told me that they got a call from the school. And apparently a kid in my class got lice. So they got out their, the way that you check for lice, getting the 2 pencils or whatever, and just combing through the hair. Pranks where the prankee can feel included in the laugh as opposed to the butt of the joke is what I like. Yeah, those are good. So my parents got out the comb, basically combed through my hair, and they said, "I'm sorry, son, you've got lice, right?" And they're like, "We're gonna have to trim your hair so that we can get at them and actually get rid of them." The thing is, I had just started growing out my afro, which, if you knew me in elementary and high school, my afro was basically my identity. Basically, even in university too, it was a big part of my identity. So to finally grow it out and then being told by your parents that you have to cut it off, and I protested heavily to keep that from happening. And you have to understand, my parents never raised their voices at us, right? So I wasn't raised in a household where people are yelling, right? So as a result, even now, I don't raise my voice a lot, right? But I raised my voice to my parents that day in protest of them cutting off my hair. We started arguing back and forth, and then I basically said, "You are not cutting off my hair." And my dad stopped me mid-sentence and was like, "You know what, son? We're your parents, and we're gonna do whatever we need to do, whatever we feel is best for you guys. And you know what else? April Fools." I completely forgot it was April Fool's Day, but I had crossed a line. So as soon as he said April Fools, I was like, "Oh, that was a joke?" And he was like, "Yeah, now sit down." And then I got a nice long lecture. So, hey, Chrissy, how you doing? My dad woke me up once and told me it was a snow day and made me run to the window to check. My dad laughed and told me to get ready for school. I literally had to be ready at the crack of dawn on April Fools. I can also vouch for how amazing that afro was. Well, thank you. Thank you. That was, I think, like the first and last time my parents like pranked me on April Fools. Um, because I was in my feelings about my hair, and you know, but in retrospect, it's funny. That could have been handled better. I think you and your dad both crossed a line and it led to a bad experience. Yeah, yeah. All told, I think I was the bigger line crosser, uh, because we weren't even necessarily raised not to raise our voices at my parents. Um, they just never raised their voices, so we consequently just never did. My dad did apologize after that. They should have gotten to the context of the fact that it was a April Fool's joke earlier. But it was also like, son, your hair's not that important. Also, looking back, a lot of my parents' lectures were very much like like university lectures. Um, because again, like my parents, when they were upset, they didn't like yell and scream and everything, which I'm very thankful for. But so my dad's lectures would usually start with Timothy, which is my full first name. It's like, Timothy, come hither. It's like, oh, here we go. But my parents were very good at like explaining what we did wrong and like how to like not why we shouldn't do those things. It wasn't a very like domineering type of parent-child relationship. You know, which again I am extremely thankful for. Because there's a lot of people. I grew up with a lot of people who did not have that experience at all. Quite the opposite, actually. Yes, my dad used the come hither. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, my parents sat down like long before any of us were born and kind of like hashed out how they wanted to raise us, which of course is an important conversation. But yeah, they went really in depth and like, because my dad, like, unfortunately, like he obviously knew like his parents loved him, but it wasn't expressed, right? My dad basically said like, "There's no way my kids," and my mom too. It was like, "There's no way my kids will ever question whether or not we love them," you know. Um, which again, extremely thankful for that. I never have to guess or question. you know? Oh, nice. What's the bonus? What's the bonus? Well, I wasn't expecting to cry. Oh, in a soul stream, you should always expect to cry. Oh, a student ID allow you to get a year's access to some software you like. Nice. Very nice. Which pieces of software in particular, if you don't mind me asking? I know when I was a kid, at one point, I probably told this story before. At one point, we actually fostered 3 of my cousins. My older brother didn't live with us because we didn't know that he existed until I was like 10 or so, maybe 12. But he lived with his mom. Older half brother that again we didn't know existed until I was older. But thankfully, we have a great relationship now. We didn't for the dumbest reason when we first started, when I first learned about him, because I wasn't the oldest kid anymore. I had an older brother. And I thought because of that, I wasn't going to be able to get the oldest and only forms in school anymore, because that made me feel important, because I was the oldest sibling. So I got these forms that had to go home that went to the oldest and only kids. Didn't even occur to me that my older brother was in high school. I was still in elementary school. Didn't go to the same school. I would still get those forms, right? Because, you know, I was... For as book smart as I was back then, I was also pretty dumb. But anyway, so my older brother didn't live with us, but my younger brother did. Well, of course he did. It was my younger brother and my younger sister and 3 of our cousins, and my mom and dad, all in this house that had 1 bathroom. I have no idea how we did it. It's what I'm dealing with my son. I also don't want him ever questioning whether or not I love him. Still asking myself if I'm being a good parent. Well, you see, I think a lot of times, Rain, that's the mark of someone who's a good parent. I remember seeing a quote, and obviously it's simplified, right? It's not this simple in real life, but it was like, if you're really concerned before you have kids whether or not you're going to screw up your kids, and you're trying really hard not to screw up your kids, but you keep feeling like you're kind of failing, it kind of shows that your kid is your main concern. And for better or worse, your kids are probably going to turn out all right. Like, they're probably going to do fine, right? It's the parents who start thinking like, well, how is this going to affect my life, you know, having this kid, and then still going forward and having that kid. Those are the people who are probably going to mess up their kids. And obviously that's very simplistic and a very like simple way of looking at it. But I think it provides a good baseline of the type of mentality that you should have going into having kids. Or at least if you don't have that mindset going into it when you have a kid, like kind of shifting your perspective. Because now it's about that kid, right? You kind of like take a back seat. So, no, that's good. I think it's a good thing that you're asking yourself that and evaluating, and hopefully you're getting a more positive response with yourself than a negative, you know, which it can be hard, obviously, but you know, it's important that you're doing that. PHP Strom, cross-platform IDE for PHP, HTML, JavaScript, CSS+, some other amazing features it has. It's kind of not cheap. Oh, well then that's a big bonus. That's kind of how I felt in first year university when we got access to Photoshop in one of my classes for free. So that's awesome. And also, Rain, it's perfectly fine. You can get as personal as you want in this chat. I certainly get extremely personal. You know. Also, in case y'all are wondering why I'm wearing a beanie, wearing a toque on a day where it's like 13 degrees here, which is Celsius, so it's pretty warm. All things considered, it's like the first like spring day. In case you're wondering why I'm wearing it, I don't know. I just kind of put it on and didn't take it off. So here we are. Jess still has her uni Photoshop? Yeah. Yep. I don't have my university Photoshop. But I do have Photoshop. I went, as much as I don't particularly like boats, I went sailing on the high seas and got myself some Photoshop. Just kind of like came aboard. And I was like, oh, hello. I will take you home. You could have just said, because Canada, and I would have understood. Well, fair. That is fair. All right. So this bush is done. This one's pretty much done. I may come back and like touch some things up, but for now, we're leaving it. Now we're going to go back up here and finish off these shingles. We're gonna do a little more up here now that I think about it. But that'll be later. For now, let's get these shingles together with a smaller brush. Come to think of it, where's my small, long, round brush? That's not it. Where is it? Where did you go? Come on. Get out of the package. Thank you. These brushes are being stubborn today. Okay, there we go. But yes, you can get as personal or impersonal as you want in this chat. Um, let's see. I was saying about my brother though. What was I saying about my brother? Oh, just a minute, everybody. I'm going to put the Be Right Back screen up real quick, and then I will get back to you. So just hold tight. Hold tight. Enjoy the vibes of this music. So be right back. All right, we're back. We're back. Um. Oh, you didn't feel like a. Oh, right, right. Oh, thank you, Toxic. Um. Yeah. So we found out about my older brother when I was about 10 or so. And my first initial worry was that I wasn't the oldest brother anymore, so I wouldn't get the oldest and only forms. And I'm sure there was part of like the pride of being the older brother, the oldest brother, the eldest sibling, really, that was going to be lost now, right? So, you know, just in my immaturity at that age, I you know, didn't hate my older brother, but I was like, oh man, like I was the oldest brother, like why? And now I'm not, just those silly little things that kids think. So, but yeah, now we're close. I got he's got a lovely wife and four kids. Got two nieces and two nephews. Which honestly I don't get to see often enough. A while back, it was one of my nephew's birthdays on the same day I was streaming, so I told him to like tune in and I sang happy birthday. So that was nice. That was a nice time. But yeah, he didn't live with us. He lived with his mom. Um, you know. There we go. Does anybody know off the top of their heads what day April 5th is? Like what day of the week? I think I know, but I don't want to sound like an idiot. Actually, I can just look at my calendar on my computer. That would be easiest. It's Tuesday. Okay, cool. I was going to say, if it was a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday or Sunday, which I didn't think it was any of those. I had a feeling it was Tuesday. I was going to say we won't be streaming that day because that's my girlfriend's birthday on April 5th. So, but it's a Tuesday, so we're all good. Okay. This is coming together. If I do say so myself. Going back to April Fool's pranks, the greatest prank I ever pulled was me and my cousin. We used to work at a. He's still there, but we used to work at the same sort of community center. And my aunt, his mom, one of my aunts, runs that community center, and we did that classic. We made the home screen of her computer. Like we took a screenshot, but made it a picture, and then just made the picture the size of the screen, just full screened it. And she was like, "Why isn't this mouse working?" She replaced the mouse like 3 times, and the keyboard wasn't working. So she, not monetarily, like there were other mice and other keyboards like laying around. So she kept switching them, and it's like, I don't know what's going on. And then I said, "Well, let me try." So I just hit like escape or whatever, took it out of full screen, and we were this close to getting smacked that day. Yeah, that was funny. That was fun. Yeah, that's a good prank. Nobody got hurt. Nobody. It wasn't really at anyone's expense, other than just just having some laughs. Yeah, it wasn't destructive. Exactly. I tell you, I'm so glad that the weather is starting to change a little bit. Like, it's supposed to be cooler the rest of this week, but it's starting to get a little bit warmer out. And I'm so happy because it means I can start playing basketball outside. Um, I can start going for runs outside too, which is nice. But, um, I can start balling again. I have this wire scorpion that was gifted to me by some cousin of mine. I don't know my extended family that well. But that's nice though. That's nice, and it's nice that you still have it. Yeah, my family, my extended family is very large. Very, very large. My dad is one of, well, he grew up with 7 siblings. Or like there were 7 of them, I should say. He was one of the 7. And then he's got another brother and another sister that we didn't know all that well. That were kind of from what I understand, given up for adoption early on. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My dad was one of 9. Not was, is one of 9. And my mom was one of 5, the youngest of 5. So I have, and this isn't the biggest family in the world, obviously, but I have 36 first cousins. So actually we learned pretty early with my family, because you get to that age when you're a kid where you stop getting gifts for Christmas with your extended family, and you just start getting like a card or maybe some money, and maybe nothing at all other than just a Merry Christmas. That happened to all of us pretty early because like my oldest cousins started having kids, right? So then all the gifts started going to them, you know. I once put the wire scorpion on my shoulder and just walked around the kitchen. Ooh. Sometimes I placed the scorpion in random places and you call my mom and would go, "What's that?" And she'd jump. I like that. I like that. That's a fun little prank. I think I got my mom good. It's funny to me to see her jump from fright when she's the one that's been stung repeatedly. Oh. Or when you were the one who's been stung repeatedly. Wow. I can't say that I've ever even... I mean, I don't think they reside up here, like where I live, but I've never seen a scorpion. Which I'm kind of thankful for. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate the lurk. You get the lurk song because you're lurking. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I appreciate it. I hope the computer things are going well, and I hope you're having a good day as well. Can you, just real quick, can you, if you can, or Rain, can you just put the pronunciation of your name in chat one more time? Because I remember that it was something, but I can't think of what it was. So, my apologies. I just don't want to get your name wrong. Yeah, is it like Natun or Natun? You know, I just don't want to get it wrong. Growing up, I had a bunch of people at school who would there was this one girl, bless her soul, who could not understand that my name was TJ. Everybody in school called me Tim, and that's a story I'll tell in a minute. Everyone called me Tim, and I was explaining how my family calls me TJ. And she was like, "Wait, JT?" I was like, "No, TJ." And she's like, "CJ." I'm like, "TJ. TJ." And she was like, "Oh, like to J." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." But Nathan, thank you very much for the lurk. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for the well wishes. All the same to you. Nathan. Okay, would probably sound close. Okay, cool. Thank you. I will commit that to memory. Nathan. Cool. Was she white? I mean, she was, but I mean, I would say that the majority of my friends in high school were white. I think that she wasn't paying enough attention to really care what my name was. I think that's what the key was. Yeah, I think that's what the key was. She just didn't care enough to really listen to what I was saying. Sometimes I think back to that moment though, and I think like, oh, well, I wonder what she's up to now. I have a very Mexican name. I only ever got that from white people in school. Ah, fair. Yeah, I think this was less of a case of her being white and more just like she didn't give a rat's ass. But the reason that a bunch of my friends know me as Tim, like Jake from the Woods knows me as Tim, because my family calls me TJ. My first elementary school, where I went to kindergarten, they knew me as TJ. Then I switched schools in grade 1, and my grade 1 teacher didn't like using initialisms. She didn't like using people's initials for whatever reason. And she said, well, can I call you Tim instead? And I was like 5 years old, so I was like, yeah, that's fine. And as a result, everyone who I was friends with and all of my teachers from elementary and high school know me as Tim. And that's where Jake comes in. And then when I went to university, I switched back to TJ and had everybody call me TJ. Because, I was given that choice. I could have done that in high school too, but I had too many friends that were going to the same high school and would have been confused. So. And then I had a professor in university who was doing the roll call. I feel like I've told this story before, but whatever. I'm going to tell it again. Had a university professor who was taking roll, and he got to my name, and he's like, Timothy Jamar Brown, and I was like, present. He's like, okay, so do you go by Tim? Do you go by Timothy? Timmy? What do you go by? And I was like, oh, I go by TJ. And he looked at me, looked down at his notebook, looked at me, and was like, TJ. Looked at his notebook again, and then was like, well, that's weird. And I'm like, it's my initials. It's not that weird. Yeah, he and I, it's not that we didn't get along. Like, we got along fine in the class, but he was a different cat. We probably wouldn't have associated outside of class, Why would that be weird? His face was weird. Yeah, he was an interesting cat. He was an interesting dude. There we go. I think that's actually turning out pretty well. We're almost done. We are just about done with this roof. Okay. make this tree a little bit taller. Actually, wait. We won't do that yet. I don't know why I'm hearing The Roots You Got Me featuring Erica Badu from the almost inaudible snare drum. Oh, almost inaudible? Let me turn this music up a bit. There. Let me know if that's better. Well, I will say it wouldn't surprise me if they were like similar samples. Hey, Lime Moon, welcome in, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. The brain does that. It tries to make connections to define patterns, right? Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it also wouldn't surprise me if it was like a similar drum sample. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing well. This painting is starting to come together, which is good because it's almost done. So what better time for it to come together than when it's almost done, you know? Okay. I think we need a little bit lighter paint up here. Just on this joint in the roof. That looks okay. Not the best, but we're going to work with it for now. Oh yeah, Line Moon. I don't know if you were there for the rest of it, but how was the rest of Zell's stream? Because I had to duck out of there because of work. I had it on, but I couldn't have the sound on, unfortunately. You're tired, waiting on a clock out, which is in 5 minutes. Ooh, that's exciting though. You're almost there. I know that feeling though. I'm not looking forward to your commute time. A whole 5 seconds to my bed. Oh, oh, that's so slow. Oh, that is the nice thing about working from home, though. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. I could work from home for the rest of my life. It would not bother me at all. What are the gas prices like on your commute there, right? The temptation to nap while you're on the clock. Yeah, I get that too. I get that too. Of which you've done. Yeah, there have definitely been some nights where I stayed up just a little bit too long, usually watching other people's streams, and then I pay for it the next day. So I know exactly what you mean. Man, the gas prices suck. Okay, why did you start there? There we go. We'll start there. Of course, you don't pay for your gas, so, well, fair enough, fair enough. It was great. He had a whole rant in the end about streamers that they rated and didn't know the rater, but lie and say, "Hey, go check them out. They're great. You should watch it." All right, I will check that out. Yeah, if someone raids me and I don't know them, I don't say that I know any of the material. I straight up say like, okay, I don't know this person, but thank you for the raid. Because I've definitely been raided by strangers. I mean, someone who comes by very frequently now, you know, and made those wonderful headers for me down in my about section. He raided me on a whim one day. I was like, oh well, thank you. I don't know who you are, but thank you very much. I definitely get that frustration, especially because random raiders almost always expect a shout out. Yeah. I know in the chat, I'll usually, like, if I don't know the raider, I'll do a shout out because my shout out will tell me what it was that they did. You know, like, I'll do a shout out in the chat just to be like, hey, what is it that you were doing? You know, to see if they were doing an art stream or if they were playing a game, you know. But yeah, I don't personally shout them out because I don't know them. You know. Okay. So we're almost done with this roof. And then we will get to the part of this painting that I'm most excited about. Because it's going to be, I don't know if drastically different is the right way to put it, but it's going to be different than what I usually have done with these pieces. I am going to extend this tree up a little bit though, just a little bit. Nothing too drastic. Yeah, Topher said the same about the shout out in the chat to see what they were doing. Yeah. Yeah. Especially because I know that some people aren't particularly vocal after they raid someone. So like I could just say on the chat, okay, what was it that you were doing? But you know, they may not answer me because they aren't the most vocal person, which is perfectly fine. But I do want to, like, because I'm curious what it is that that they were doing and what might have brought them to the channel. But yeah, like I can't see myself like doing like a whole shout out, like, oh man, this is a great person if I don't know anything about them, you know. Because what if, God forbid, they're not a great person? There we go. And clocked out. Woo! Nice. 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 Congratulations on ending the workday. Hopefully that commute to your bed isn't too hellish. You're stuck behind this asshole who won't get up from his chair. I like that. I've said this before. All y'all who come to my streams, I'm glad that y'all are very nice people. But I'm also glad that y'all are funny. You know, I dig funny people. Because, I know I certainly could probably take myself a little bit more seriously. Me, I'm the asshole. I could probably take myself more seriously than I do. But, I mean, I'm not about it. Life is way too short and way too long for me to be taking myself too seriously. That's the spirit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I take myself... I'm serious when I need to be, obviously, you know? Because there are moments that call for having some sort of seriousness, but yeah. On the whole, like, I'm not that important to take myself that seriously, to be honest. Got this tree here. Just kind of filling it out a bit. But yes, welcome back, Dr. Noise. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And if it doesn't, well, to hell with it. We're going to start moving up to this. Okay, so I'm going to cover my paints because we're not going to be painting for a minute. And I don't want this paint to dry out, so I'm going to cover this up. And I'm going to need to grab a pencil. So, do I still have a pencil handy here? I do not. Bear with me while I try to find one of these. As you can tell, as you can no doubt tell, I am a very well-prepared person when it comes to this stream. It's not like we've been doing this since October, where, you know, it would make sense to have your supplies readily available. Okay, I just need a pencil. We got a pencil. Okay. Now, let me see if I can bring this in a little bit closer. Let me get my head out of the way because I am going to have to split screen on my computer to see both the stream and my reference image. Okay. You want to get a 2K monitor? I mean, 2K monitors are nice. They are very nice. So I don't blame you. Okay. So here we go. I don't know if y'all can see that. I just don't have the disposable cash because I'm saving up for an immigration lawyer. Oh, that is fair enough. That makes sense. Because I can't imagine an immigration lawyer is cheap. Not very, no. Yeah. And I work for a consumer bankruptcy lawyer. Ah, I see. I see. Have they been able to give you like a good what's the word I'm looking for? Any good inroads into like who would be good? Well, I actually kind of like that angle better. I should get like an actual eraser, shouldn't I? I'm also friends with a criminal defense lawyer on Twitter. He's the one I asked. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense. Sorry, I'm just kind of using my hand as a reference here. It's why you're saving up. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. We'll come back to that. We will come back to that. Okay, so there's one. Needing a lawyer is such a drag. Yeah. I would agree. Thankfully, I've never had to have one, but yeah, I can imagine it's not fun. Now here's the tricky thing, folks. I like where this figure is placed. Well, I like the way it turned out. But she's a little bit too low. So basically, we have to erase this and raise her up a bit. It's so annoying. But at least y'all get to see me draw again. Maybe this time it'll turn out better. Like, even better. Because I'm pretty pleased by how that turned out. That's the annoying thing about art and having a picture in your mind of what you want to happen. Sometimes it turns out exactly the way you want it to, and other times you gotta do it all over again. Okay, so I need her head to actually be like here. So let's start here. Yeah, we'll start with the torso to make sure we get the torso where we need it. Actually, I like the way it was before. I like what the leg positioning was before, so let's get rid of that. So what do all you fine folks got planned for the rest of your evenings? There we go, that's better. Actually, it may not be evening where some of you are, so just for the rest of your days. There we go. That's better. That's more where I wanted the figure. Not quite a fan of how this hand turned out though. So we're gonna do a little bit more erasing. Because if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it the way we want it, right? There's no sense in settling for less. Sure. We'll leave that for now. And now, on to the second figure. Well, I'll give you a close-up look of that, first of all. So we've got one. Now we gotta do the second one. I'm actually pretty pleased with how that turned out. I wasn't sure if it would, but I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, do I have a white charcoal pencil handy? Is there one somewhere nearby? There's one. Because the second person's going to be right about here. I don't know if it would actually be more intriguing if this person was on the other side of the roof looking this way, like towards us. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this figure out. And then I'm going to decide what I'm doing later. Because, you know, that's a thing that we can do. That is a luxury that we have. And for now, what we're going to do is we're going to fill in this this figure here. So let me grab my small little brush. And actually, we're not even going to unwrap our paints. We're just going to grab some black paint right from the tube. There we go. This is a technique that I've seen a couple of people do. I've done it before too, where you just like squeeze some paint up on the tube and then, you know, you just go right from there. Especially if you're only initially using one color. It makes things a little more expeditious. Or expedient, I guess, is the word that I'm looking for. Because we are just using one color for now. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm happy that you think so. Yo, Slacker Name Jack, how's it going? How are you? You just caught us doing some painting. But how are you tonight? Or today, whatever time of day it is for you. Oh, you're about to teach in 20 minutes. Nice, nice. What are you teaching? Some game development stuff or boxing? Kickboxing? Game design. Nice, nice. Nice. What's the specific topic for tonight? Or today, I should say. I keep thinking that everyone's in my time zone. Just got kudos from the director saying that I'm doing a good job at tutoring, so I'm happy. Nice, nice, yeah. Having some reaffirmation's always nice. I was having some anxiety about how I was doing, so it's nice to have that, to put my mind at ease. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I hear that. So this is one leg done. What am I drawing? Well, right now we're doing a figure that's floating up off the top of this roof. You know, I'll just back the painting out, or back the camera out a bit so you can see the whole thing. But this is, well, pretty close to the whole piece. There's some more clouds up there, but this is what we're looking at so far. And right now I'm just filling in this figure who's floating up. We're not going to fill her in all the way though, because well, because of reasons that will become readily apparent once we move on to the next phase of this painting. But for now, she's just, well, I won't say living her best life, but she's up there. Is this brush fraying already? I haven't even washed it yet. Okay. I think the time for me to go get some new brushes is at hand. Because this brush should definitely not be fraying. Are we ever living our best life? Or are we only getting incrementally closer? Oh, I'm always living my best life. But yeah, I'd say we're all probably, well, maybe not all of us, but I think a number of us are probably striving to live our best lives. But it's all relative and subjective, really. Especially because you can't really tell like what would be your best life unless you're actually actively living it, right? So, who's to say? I think it's like a limit in calculus. You're always getting closer. There's always a better thing to work towards and strive towards. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. No, I hear what you're saying. In case you're wondering, because I'm not all that good at anatomy, there is a wonderful site called posemaniacs.com, which is basically, there's thousands and thousands of these like computer-generated poses of people, and it's all like there's no skin or anything. It's all musculature, to sort of give you the outline of how people look when they move in certain ways. And there's all sorts of different body builds on there, and well, you can kind of there's kind of like a baseline body build actually, but you can very easily adapt that for your own piece. If you want someone thinner or fatter or bulkier, you know, you can adapt it very easily. Because I would say that my worst thing when I was in school that I wish I would have paid more attention to was anatomy. Like drawing and painting anatomy. So I use that site as a reference quite often when I'm doing figures. Because anatomy has never been my strong suit. I just looked it up. Super cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Perfection is the direction we go towards, not a location we arrive at. Yeah. Certainly put that in my list of tools for figure drawing. Yeah, I've been using it for years. It's a very, very handy tool, I find. But yeah, with that whole perfection is the direction we go towards. Yeah, I like that because, you know, it's like that saying where practice makes perfect, and it's no, perfect practice makes perfect, and there's no such thing as perfect practice. So, you know, you just get as close as you can. There's always going to be flaws, there's always going to be errors, there's always going to be mistakes. But as long as you continually work towards it, you'll get closer and closer to what it is that you actually want. Yeah, practice creates improvement. Yeah, Lime Moon, I like it too. I like it too. I haven't quite decided if this figure is going to be wearing clothes or not. Not that it's going to matter too much with what we're going to be doing to her, but we'll get there. It's a decision I'm going to have to make. As a result, we'll never really get to where we think we should be as humanity. We'll get closer, but we will get closer. It's just a reminder that things, even when they don't seem like they're going great, are still going to get better. Yeah. Okay. This is turning out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So I'm pretty pleased, to be honest. This whole painting has turned out better than I was imagining it would. So it's always a nice surprise when that happens. Very nice surprise. Okay, and that, I think I'm just going to leave her there for now. I don't know what I want to do with this arm yet, whether I want it out here, maybe raised a bit, or if I want that also trailing behind her. So I'm just going to leave that arm for now. But I'm just going to take a look at this from across the room, because paintings are sometimes best seen from a distance. So I'm just going to take a look at this from across the room and see how we're looking. Make sure we're on the right track. Okay, let's see. How are we doing? Ooh. Alright, that looks that looks nice. That looks nice. Okay. Now I just have to make a decision whether I want someone in front of her on the roof, like looking up at her, or if I want them behind the roof on the other side looking towards her and like towards us. I think that might be a little more compelling, but I also like how the figure might look at the front here. I don't know. Decisions. What I know right now is that there's like some pencil marks and everything that I'm gonna have to get rid of like once this paint dries, which we're gonna have to wait a minute for that. But I like how this is turning out. Yeah, but I think honestly that'll be a decision to be made for next time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sleep on that one. But let me give you all a little tour of the painting before we go find somebody to raid. So we got our clouds again, but now our clouds have a little visitor. There's someone else up here, and we have our exterior of this house, which we just finished today, and some trees. Hey, 8-Bit, thank you. Sorry you're coming in like towards the end here, but thank you. I appreciate that. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, that's our painting. This I'm really pleased with how that turned out. Very pleased with how that turned out. So now I just got to make a decision whether I want the next figure to be in front or behind the roof. Sort of like pointing or reaching out towards her. But yeah. Everybody stay tuned for this lady. Enjoy how she looks now, because this is probably the best she's going to look. Oh, thank you. This was painstaking. This was like I did like 3 passes of this of these shingles before I finally found a look that worked. So I'm glad you like them, because yeah, that was some work. Those were some billable hours, I must say. Those and honestly, doing this on the front of the garage, that took a while too. I may still come back in here and like touch some of this up, but glad you're doing well. Yeah, there's like a bunch of details in here that I might go back in and do again. I should probably point the camera where I'm pointing. But yeah, like in here I'll probably clean up this bit. I might do some of these bricks, like clean up some of those. The trees I'm pretty much leaving well enough alone. They look organic enough. They look tree-ish enough. I might do some extra like longer branches out here, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Those are details that we get to toward the end of the painting. When we get the bulk of like the big stuff like this and the sky and the main shape of everything down. The shingles, though, I'm not touching the shingles anymore. We finally got one that got some to look good. We're just leaving it there. But also, we may not do any of that because for any of you who are creative people and like create your own things and are cursed with the whole, second guessing yourself, I do that a lot. So we may not end up doing any of that, any of those touch-ups, because they might be fine. But that'll be a decision for another day. For now, we're gonna go find somebody to raid, and I'm gonna try and raid somebody that I know, that I already follow. Just because as soon as the stream's done, I gotta go to the store because we are out of cereal and milk, and I need my breakfast. So let's see what's going on in Twitch land, shall we? Actually, question for all you guys, because 8-Bit came in, and I remember that you guys had all those tornado watches and warnings lately where you're at. Does anybody else like find that it's been exceptionally windy this year? Like every single day has been windy. It seems like it's crazy. Twitch. Because it's like crazy. It's gonna be crazy windy this whole week, and it's like, well, what else is new? Every single week has been crazy, like just ridiculous. It's nuts. Ooh, you know what? Somebody that I really like their work is streaming right now. Ooh, and they're doing a really nice. He's doing a really nice scene. So we're gonna raid Scrodello. We've raided Scrodello before. You're right up against the window, so I hear it almost nonstop. Yeah, it's like every day this year has been windy. Like it's crazy. At least that's how it seems. I don't know. But I'm glad I'm not the only one 8-Bit. Okay. My face is windy. Boom, slam. Oh, Dr. Noy's coming in here. Laying some truth bombs. Well, everybody, I really do... Let me get out of the way of this thing, because I like how this looks. Thank you, everyone, for coming in again. I really do appreciate it. Everybody who came in and roasted is right. I really do appreciate it. Next stream, we're going to be playing Breath of the Wild at 9 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then we're going to be working on this piece again at 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. So that'll be the next art stream. Next gaming stream, though, is going to be Saturday. Playing some more Breath of the Wild. Trying to get some more into that game. We're going to try and take on Varudania over in Death Mountain. So that's the plan. But for now, thank you all again for coming in. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to go say hi to Scrodello. Alright, so everybody, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again for coming in, and we will see you next time. Alright, take it easy, everybody. Thank you, Lime. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.